Brought in the initiation of Stephanie.
Here you go. Sorry about that. I know I got very here.
I'm here. Good morning. On a beautiful day. If you were a group of alligators, you'd be a congregation. I'm quite sure that word was made up by a pastor. Okay, they're placed. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And a four-way test of the things we say or do. Is the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? All right.
Get better.
It's like doing the Apostles' Creed in church. Everybody can do it when we're all together. Don't understand it alone. Okay, today is November 18th, the year 2025. It's the 322nd day of the year. All right, we're almost getting there. The Wisconsin Badgers football are 1-6 altogether, 3-7. No, we have 1-6 in the league and 3-7 altogether. Minnesota is 4-3 and 6-4 altogether. Meanwhile, what does that letter stand for? Oh, Packers. Packers are 6-3-1, and my beloved Vikings are 4-6. Spring training can't start too soon. All right, things you probably don't need to know, but I'm going to tell you anyway. There is a town in Norway named Hell, and it freezes over every year. Birthdays, got anybody online today? Okay. Birthdays, Chad.
Yeah.
On the 16th. That was what, Sunday? Sunday, right? Last Sunday. Yeah, congratulations. Got to get one of those. Melissa is she here? No, she has a party that we're all invited to. All right, and then me.
Oh, yeah.
On Thursday. So stand up, Chad, and I don't have to stand up because I'm already standing up. And
Next year.
Terry, all right, Terry, get us started. He's first.
Chad, and instead of me, we'll do Chad and Dave.
Sounds good.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chad. Happy birthday to you.
All right. It's worth being a member of this club just to have some groups in there. All right. Club anniversary. Rick Kemp is not here. I wonder if he's off in Africa someplace. But his club anniversary is on the 20th, and he's 14 years. Well, we have some visitors. We have lots of visitors with us today. We have Mariah and Jerry from the Deforest Club. Kept thinking it was used to be East Madison. But anyway, the Deforest Club. Glad to have you with us today. I think you'll find that our club is better than yours, so you can come back.
We'll wait to see how much cheese we sell.
Oh, okay. That's how it works. That's called, yeah. I think it's called bribery. Anyway, Patrick from, you're our assistant governor?
I am from Verona.
From Verona, all the way. Glad to have you with us today. So what club are you part of?
Verona, Pittsburgh Horizon.
All right.
He'll find our.
Is that an evening club? Was the horizon on the west or is the horizon on?
I actually be there at 12 o'clock today, so it's a noon hour.
So, yeah, okay, we're usually done by then.
Yeah.
It depends, we got a president who's a little off sometimes. Yeah, and then, Stephanie is here again. She's back there. We're glad to have you with us today, and Kate is with us again. Thank you to have you with us today. By the way, for your happy dollars, you got to pay today. So you know.
Mariah isn't with the forest, she's checking us out.
No, Forest Rotary.
Oh my God, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
But she doesn't live in the state.
I don't live there.
I heard from, I got the scoop that you were.
She's still checking us out.
Yeah.
That's how she recruits people. She
That's
just helps them.
Oh, by the way, you're a member of the club. Okay. A poem by Thomas Hood called November. No sun, no moon, no morn, no noon, no dawn, no dusk, no proper time of day, no warmth, no cheerfulness, no healthful ease, no comfortable feel in any member, no shade, no shine, no butterflies, no bees, no fruits, no flowers, no leaves, no birds, November.
I don't like that.
Kinda true. Okay, so we have a lot of things going on for the meeting today. We are going to take care of all the regular, usual Rotary meeting business. We're also going to add in a couple of extra pieces, and of course, we're doing our new member or all member or general information, all things Rotary today. But first, let us go ahead and have our folks visiting us from Deforest chat with us a little bit about why we should buy cheese. So, sure, or wherever you're comfortable. Probably up here is probably better.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't think I've left the house this early since I had kids. But yeah, so I'm Mariah and Jerry. We're part of the Deforest Rotary Club. The project we've been working on for the last year or so is we've been working on sponsoring some inbound exchange students and also working on sponsoring an exbound for sending someone outbound for an exchange student. So I think Jerry passed out some forms. One of the fundraisers we're doing this year is we're doing some holiday cheese baskets. So they actually come in some super cute custom packaging, so you can get one for yourself or family members, gift it out, whatever you like. But each box would be $35, and we are hoping to do either or next year, either sponsor an outbound or an inbound student. So that's a little bit about our goal today, is to help fundraise for that for next year. Go ahead.
I will give you an attestation because my daughter, I bought it for her last year. She said, and she loves cheese. And she's eaten a lot of cheese. She said it's the best cheese she's ever had.
So the cheese comes from the Deforest local Mouse House Cheese House. I don't know a whole lot about them, to be honest. Maybe Jerry can speak on that a little bit, but yeah, I will say they do have some really good cheese. We've gotten some samples there before. There's a cheddar sampler on there. There's some spicy cheeses on there, and then there's a box with cheese, fudge, and sausage. So there's a combination of things to choose from.
Awesome. And all the information, if you care to order, is on the sheet that's being passed around, or we can contact you guys directly if you're interested.
Absolutely.
The more cheese you sell, the better.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
And how
I
do we
will
get
say,
them?
yep, that was what I was just gonna say is, we plan to have, I can drop them off, second week in December is I think what we were talking about. So,
Okay, every year you've given us an order form to fill out, and I don't see a link on here, and I don't see the
Yeah.
order form.
I'll have the forms in the back with me. There's no link online, unfortunately. We're not that advanced yet, but, I can definitely share our email if you wanted to put an order.
No, we usually fill it out with your little form, put our names
Yep,
on it, you
yep.
pass it around, and you do that. Okay.
Yep, I sure can do that. Anything else?
Awesome. All right, thank you.
I got the orders today.
We do try to want, or we do want orders today, but they're
Today?
due on, I think, Friday.
Okay. Right. Okay. Next up, we have our member minutes, and we have Kurt here today to do the member minutes. So we'll turn it over to Kurt.
Oh, good. I'm Kurt. I'm not sure what you want to know about me. I'll keep it short and sweet. I live here in Sun Prairie with my wife. Both my boys are, well, one is a graduate of Sun Prairie West High School. He was caught in the middle of all of those boundary changes, so he attended 3 high schools in 4 years. So he's like one of the 22 kids who got swept up in that. And I'm the one who works at the district. I mean, all of that happened. And my other son is a senior. He was actually here not that long ago with the robot, and he is a senior at West High School also, and yeah, it's at Madison College STEM program. So he'll graduate with his associate's degree before his high school diploma, which is fascinating. My wife is the principal at Creekside Elementary School, so we're like all in Sun Prairie education. My day job, I'm the director of digital media innovation and strategy. And in Sun Prairie, that means a whole lot of things, but I oversee all of technology and innovative programs for the district. So, yeah, I have a PhD from Madison, and I work for a company that does international architecture, and I come in after they build these big, beautiful, brand new schools and help them understand how to use them. So, so do some turnaround school stuff in Ohio, and yeah, and then I also teach at MSOE and organizational entrepreneurship and innovation, and I have 5 startup companies that have started from my classes, which is kind of cool when you think about it. So yeah, I'm loosely connected to a whole bunch of things around here. So do you have any questions for me? Like, I just feel like I don't want to stand up here and what questions do you have for me? What does it mean to work in Sun Prairie? So, yeah, spent 12 years in the district. We moved here 8 years ago. So our kids open and roll for a few years from Lake Mills. We kind of lived out in the country there, and we were driving in every day and decided to make the move out here. So yeah.
So we'll have to do the 2020, all that mess for
Oh,
the
yeah.
technology.
Yeah, so I
And you stayed.
yeah, I had to order all the devices and get them all out and get all the Zoom licenses and try to figure all that out. Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
Oh, geez. So I grew up. So I was born on the west side of Chicago. It started my life in a little enclave there called West Austin, and West Austin is the last neighborhood on the Eisenhower Expressway before you come into the far west side of the city. Then we moved out to the western suburbs, if you know where like Woodfield Mall is, like that area. And then winter break of my 8th grade year, my parents moved us to Mars, otherwise known as La Crosse, Wisconsin. So for second semester of 8th grade through high school, I was at La Crosse, and then immediately went back down to Chicago for college. So yeah. Yeah.
What's the robotic club doing now?
Yeah, so we are waiting anxiously for the new game to be announced. So the new game is announced in January, on January 10th. And the teams from the region all get together in one big arena, and they watch the announcement of the game. And the announcement of the game is all of the specifications of what your robot needs to do in order to score points in the competition. And so right now, kids are learning new electronics. We've just purchased 14 new motors. They are designing our pit. So, you know, the pits is like where you come in and repair your robot during the competition. And the coding team is learning a whole bunch of new codes and how to program the robot to do a variety of different things. So right now it's just intense learning up until January, and then it gets really crazy. So yeah.
How are you helping teachers deal with AI?
Oh God. So Sun Prairie has really leaned into teaching teachers about AI, and we've created a framework of like from no AI use to like full AI use, and then helping them understand when and how it can and should be used. We've also worked with kids to help kids understand when it's appropriate to use AI in their work and in their homework, and then how they cite it properly. And a big part of what we're doing now is we're teaching all of our high school students AI and ethics. So, you know, there's a whole lot of things, you've probably heard this with data centers and things going up and or being proposed in our region. Like there's a cost to AI, both energy and water and utilities. So we want them to understand that just like feeding the beast has a consequence, right? Like, and also it's not going anywhere. So what are the appropriate ethical uses of AI, and then how do you use it to, you know, help yourself out? So I still am connected to UW and still do research with them, and I have a meeting there about AI research in schools, and yeah, so it's been a little bit of the Wild West. So the EU, and I do some work over there, that they have really tight boundaries and fence posts, and things related to technology in the US is there's no fence posts. So it's all frontier. All right, I'll take one more. I think my time is up. Thank you.
Should there be fence posts?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Our privacy laws are way too wide open. So in the EU, you own your data, right? So if I do a Google search for anything on my phone in the EU, I own that data, and I can request from Google that they give it to me and that they delete it. In the United States, anything that you send out, once it leaves your phone, including the signal it travels on, is actually the property of the companies. And so that's why you can't interfere with phone signals in the US too. So like, you can't put a scrubber in here. If you walk into some restaurants in the EU, your cell phone actually won't work because they block the signal so that phones can't be out. In the United States, those are property rights laws that you can't mess with. So yes, there should be fence posts.
Do they have a sign in a restaurant, for example?
They can, yeah, they can.
Yeah,
Or you just
but it's not required.
Yeah, it's not required. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Great. So that's it. Thank you.
All right. So do we have any Rotary moments that are not related to the upcoming information that we are all about to share with you? Michael.
Okay, so we will have a coffee chat that we're going to host on 12/12 as a Chamber of Commerce event. If you've not been to a coffee chat, probably 30 to 50 people will come from different businesses. Some are networking, some are just catching old friends. We found it was a pretty successful way to get the name of a company out. That's how I found out about Rotary in the first place, was being at a coffee chat, and Melissa found me and said, you should come to one of the meetings. So we're using it as a recruiting tool. It'll be in the the auditorium, in the auditorium at 8:30 on 12/12. There'll be coffee and snacks provided. We'll need a few people that just want to hang out and shoot the breeze with strangers. So if you'd be interested in coming and eating food and drinking coffee and talking to people, there'll be a brief little circle at the end where everyone kind of like tells who they are, what they are. And then in that, we can give a brief sales pitch about Rotary, and you probably don't want to leave that to me on my first year. Here in the auditorium, 8:30 on 12/12.
Any other Rotary moments? Dan?
Patrick Marsh is a challenge. Let's put it that way. But we're balancing between trying to get the concrete in the ground before we're froze out. We're balancing getting cities approvals, and we got a little encouraging yesterday that we at least looks like we got a meeting coming up that we're gonna try to sit with the city and try to get it where we got a clear signal that we can go. Right now, we do have building permits, but we just don't have department authorization to go ahead. So that's kind of where we're stuck. But we got to get this thing in the ground this fall is really what we come down to it. And there's also criteria where the ground can't be certain temperatures and all kinds of stuff that we're balancing with. and trying to line up contractors to be all go, but not go, is where I'm kind of stuck right now. So I'm really doing quite a balancing act on that. So, we're thinking positive. We're gonna get through this, right, Deb? And, it's getting to be a long haul, and this is just another good old challenge that we got on this one. And, but we're gonna get through it. Something that once we do get going, if anyone's willing, we may have to be, part of the Rotary project is we need involvement of the club. And so like putting a silt fence in, things like that. So if I can get names of people that I can call at last minute and say, we're gonna go, whether you can make it or not, that's fine, but I'll gladly call. So we got Rotary involvement. So I can use names of people. Also, one of the things is I was involved with the orphan park shelter. Terry and I, we did a lot of work on that. One of the things we were blessed with at that project, we had a great historian, Don Winkler, was with our club. And that's one of the things, once we get started, if I could get somebody that'd like to volunteer to be a historian a little bit, take pictures of as we're going, so we can show, that's something I think we could use too from the club. So that's just a little Patrick Marsh update.
It's always another hurdle.
Yes.
Any other moments at all? All right, with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Rose, our membership chair, to lead off our first, maybe annual. We'll see how this goes. All things Rotary. That's good. Thank you.
I hope I'm loud enough because we don't have a mic. Am I okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Fine cheese.
That's okay. I'm lost with technology. Sorry. So Michael, bless his heart, we met yesterday and he kind of helped me put this all together. So I want to do kind of a overall picture of Rotary, starting with the top, and then kind of break it down to our club. So I've got pointed out lots of people, and bring you up again too. Talk a little bit more. Thank you. So bear with me, and please ask any questions along the way. I don't know it all, and we've got some, long time members here that know more than I do, and some district people. So ask away any questions you guys have. Right in your way. Oh.
Good question. Press the button, see what happens.
This is just a quick little video that I got from Rotary International that I really liked.
Welcome to Rotary. With your unique skills and perspective, you are joining a global network of problem solvers, drawn together by a desire to make a difference. Together, we can be bolder. When you share your ideas and connect with others, it's not just your community that benefits. You'll grow as a leader and feel a shared sense of purpose that comes from finding lasting solutions to big problems. Get involved in a way that's meaningful to you. Find a mentor. Sign up for a training. Volunteer in a service project, or attend a global event. You are now connected to 1.2 million people of action who unite to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Welcome to Rotary.
I think that's what I like best about Rotary is that I'm more focused on doing things locally, but we have a lot of people that are interested in doing international work too. And I think it all comes together to be a really healthy piece of Rotary. So some of you I'm sure many already know, Rotary started in Chicago in 1905 by Paul Harris. He built it as he started it as more of a professional club. I should remember when women were, 1989, is when women were allowed to come into the fold. And as you can see, we're well represented now, so that's always nice. There's 4 avenues of service that Rotary International looks to. Club service, vocational service, community service, and international service, as we kind of talked about before. These are Rotary's areas of focus and who we are. A global network of more than 1.2 million neighbors, friends, leaders, and problem solvers who see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves, as I said in the video. But I think that speaks really well to what we are and what we continue to do. Bear with me here. I don't have my, I'm gonna grab my phone, sorry. Yeah, too many notes in different places here for my areas of focus. So for global grants, these are Rotary's areas of focus, and for global grants, that's what they look at if you're going to ask for a global grant. And they are, starting at the top, promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, sanitation, and hygiene, improving maternal and child health, supporting education, growing local economies, and protecting the environment. So all good things. Along with the Rotary International, we have a very strong Rotary International Foundation. And then Debbie's going to come up and talk about our foundation and how that ties in.
Okay, so, Rose talked about the International Foundation, which is, one of the things is that every Rotarian every year. So, I mean, that's one of the ways people in clubs really think about it. They ask that we give to the International Foundation. That money then all goes into a bucket. And our district, so our district is made up of 52 clubs. And whatever money our district provides, so that's the Deforest Club, the Sun Prairie Club, all of those districts. We go all the way from Beloit up to a little past La Crosse into Minnesota. So that's kind of our district, that side of the state. So sorry, I'm doing all international. Okay, so that's our district there. So let's say that in 1 year, our district, the generous Rotarians within the district give, I'm just going to make it easy, 100,000 to the international fund through every Rotarian every year. The number's much bigger than that, but we're just going to go with 100,000. So that stays in an account, and it kind of, they have people who invest that and they make money on it. And the goal is when they do that, that in 3 years after we give that money, it comes back. So 50% of that, so $50,000 would come back to our district. And then our district is, there's lots of committees, so I'm not going to go there, but it comes back to the district. And then the district, you can apply for grants. You can apply for a global grant, which Rose mentioned, and it has to be one of those areas of focus, but you can also apply for a district grant. And that district grant, we have applied for many, and I've gotten a lot of money back. But in order to do that, you need to give to, your club needs to be giving to the International Foundation. We've got refrigeration for here. If I just think about the Colonial Club, refrigeration for here. We bought a van that they use all the time. I know there's been a couple other projects here at the Colonial Club, but over the course of time, we have really dipped into that a lot. We've been benefactors of those funds. But again, in order to do that, you need to give. And then your club also has to have money in the pot, right? So if we apply for a grant of $5,000, we have to ourselves, our club, our membership, we have to have kind of like skin in the game. And that's where our local foundation comes into play. So we have a local foundation. It is a 501c3. It was started by a man by the name of Clarence Grundall, and he gave $10,000 to start the foundation. And that was in the 1990s. Terry, shake your head if I'm close. Okay, that was in the 1990s. And it grows. And so we use that, we take that money and we use it. So Clarence Grundall was the first one. It is a 501c3, which means that it's a charitable organization. And that's what people like. If you're looking for sponsorships for something, especially businesses, they're looking to, okay, I'm happy to give, you're a good organization, but I want my gift to be tax deductible. That's why we started the Sun Prairie Rotary Foundation, so that when people would give, it would be tax deductible for them, especially businesses. So in order to keep your foundation, the Sun Prairie Rotary Foundation, in good standing, there's things that we need to do every year. There's a charitable organization fee. There's an annual report you have to file with the government. And then in addition to that, we also have a gaming license. Now it's for raffles. Don't get too excited. It's for raffles. We didn't go for the really heavy duty one with lots of tracking, but it allows us to, like, I mean, we're official when we do things like our 50-50 raffle. We can have another kind of a raffle. So having the foundation here and having that license allows us to do that. That's all managed. The foundation here in Sun Prairie is managed by a group of past presidents. So the current makeup of that board is, so when you're in line to be a president, you're really committing time to the board. Okay, I'll leave that part up.
No kidding.
You're committing time to be the president, but then you're committing what in essence is another 4 years. So once you're president, and I'm sure Jen and anybody else who's been president can attest to this, you learn about a lot about Rotary that you never knew before. And so we take that knowledge that you've learned along with other past presidents, and they make up the Rotary Foundation, the Sun Prairie Rotary Foundation Board. So currently that's Ann Oberly, John Holyvote, Jamie, Laura. So those are the most recent past 4 presidents. And then there's a treasurer. And that's been me. And if anybody would like that job, I'm willing to train.
You do a fine job.
So, but that's the only one that, you know, is kind of can be a variable, right? Is that treasurer position. So if anybody really wants to learn and would like to do that, you will not break my heart. So what we do is every single year, I've been in the club since 2002. And I assume this was this way before. The Sun Prairie Foundation, they get together, they have some meetings, and then they do a presentation to the club every year. So whenever we do a fundraiser, that money comes into the foundation. I'm sorry, I'm over my 5 minutes, I know that. The money comes into the foundation because if we have sponsorships, then that's where how that tax deductible piece goes for those businesses and stuff. And then there's always a committee. So I'm going to use golf. That's like one of our big ones that we have today. So that committee collects the funds for golfing or whatever it is that they're doing, sponsorships, whatever. Then they count that money and then they give it to me. So I'm the second set of eyes on the income that's coming in. And then I take that and I deposit it into the accounts. And then when they get the bills, they come to me because that's where all the money went, right? So if you think about it, the money went into the foundation, so the money's got to come out of the foundation for the expenses. And then I put together a report for Terry. Terry is our accountant. Terry's the one who deserves a big round of applause. He's done this for free for, I don't know. So then every year I prepare a report for Terry. So I have one report that is income and expenses for the golf outing, income and expenses for the Kentucky Derby, income and expenses for concerts in the park, income, I'm glad I don't have expenses, income for UW events. So whatever fundraising we do, I create that and create a spreadsheet, and I give that to Terry at the end of the year, along with every check I've written for that Rotary year. And I give that to him, and then he gets to do the taxes based off of that information. So that's kind of how that all works. And Ann is set, Ann, who is the president this year, she is set to do a presentation of the budget. I don't know, December 9th. I knew it was coming up. It differs. It depends on the president, when they can get here, when the club has room for speakers, all of those kinds of things come into play. And we do have investment accounts. So we use Edward Jones. So we have investment accounts there. And then we also have, bank accounts, right? Because you have to have some fluid money and stuff like that. So one of the funds that we have is Patrick Marsh. There is a separate fund for Patrick Marsh because people have made donations specifically to that account. So that is kept out. We also have a fund, which some of you know this individual, and some of you, if you're newer, you may not. Her name is Sue Hollenbeck. She was a member. She was actually in line to be the district governor. And she had a medical incident and she passed away. But her family, she was well known not only in our club, but in our district because she was in line for the governorship. And then she knew a lot of people everywhere. Well, funds from her memorial, they gave to us, the family did. And those are in a fund, and we do a scholarship in her name every year. So she was a food scientist. So a high school student going into food science, they get to apply for a grant, and that's where that money comes from. So, sorry, that was kind of long, but I tried to wrap it up for you as much as I could.
Debbie?
Does every Rotary have their own foundation?
No, it's optional. If you do not have your own foundation, because it's expensive, I think it's probably less when we set ours up than it is today. The district has a foundation, so you can use theirs if you don't want to create your own. So I would say it's probably the bigger clubs especially all have their own, but small clubs will not.
So for some really exciting reading, you can read the bylaws, but the immediate past president is the liaison for the boards and for the club. So, and that's me this year. So if you have something you want to express or information, whatever it is, I'm happy to be that in-between person. I mean, obviously you could go right to the foundation board, but that's my role to keep people on both boards informed.
Yeah.
Did you mention the Paul Harris?
I did not, but I could talk for the whole hour on the district, but yeah, Paul Harris, if you give to the Rotary International, and you can give as much or as little as you want. They do suggest $100 per Rotarian every year. But when you give, and then you give $1,000, you actually get a pin, and it's called a Paul Harris Fellow, and that's just recognition for giving to the International Foundation. And I can tell anybody more about that. They've got a lot of other speakers, but I'll be around if anybody has any other questions that I could answer for you. Rich.
Just real quick, when Aaron gave the thing about the year, we were at $46. I think in average right now we're at 55.
We're at what?
55.
Okay, perfect.
I checked that in.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Those of you who are new to fiscal year, however,
Yeah,
is
sorry.
August.
July 1 to June 30th.
Right, so it's a little different than,
There was one other thing. I just didn't take my notes. The other one is when we do the budget, the money is the income from the previous fiscal year, and Ann will talk about that. So the 25-26 budget is money that was earned in the 24-25 Rotary year. And that's how, those are the funds you have for the budget.
So we're gonna go from Rotary International and Foundation onto district. I think, Dave did introduce Patrick that he is our district governor. So we're gonna let him.
And it's not that important, believe me.
Yes, it is. He's our liaison to the district.
I'm the important person. I'm really just here to help you guys out. So a little bit about me, from Verona, Wisconsin. Lived there 1989. Two children, actually two children are adults. One is a special education teacher, and one followed in my footsteps, paid it forward. I was in the global sourcing and supply chain for many, many years for companies you might know, Covance or LabCorp, GE, Railvac, things like that. So that's my background. My wife's in scientific equipment sales, so been around the area for a long time. I'm here as the AG, and I kind of looked at this and put this together. I mean, I'm here to listen, and I'll talk about each one of them, to learn, to support, and share. I've only been in Rotary for about 2 years. I traveled all over the world. I mean, I came from a very small town called Cuba City, Wisconsin, if you know where that is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you know, I've never been outside Wisconsin my whole life. I've been all over the world. I've been to China, Hong Kong, Latin America, South America, a lot of Europe. And I'm telling you, I've been in my world, I live in culture. So I've been in the Amazon jungle. I've been in the middle of China. I'm telling you, learn a lot about what the world, how privileged we are as a country. I'll tell you that. So I want to pass that along. And I've got all kinds of stories I could tell about that, but it was a very interesting learning experience, traveling all those places and learning about the people. And these people have nothing, most of them. Most of those countries, it's either poor or rich, you know, and everybody's smiling, believe it or not. It's interesting to see these people that have nothing, and they just, their whole life is about their families and things like that, and they're very happy about having, you know, living a life with family, quite honest with you. So let me talk about the listening piece of it. I'm going to use Joe as an example. Him and I talked for about 10 minutes, and I learned from him about 6 or 7 different clubs you're in, I think. And one thing I learned, and I never even thought about this, a web-based Rotary Club. Never thought about it, right? I've only been it for 2 years, could travel. It just wasn't around. Never thought about that. That would have been a good way to maybe connect with other people around the world about it. So that's something I learned today. You know, the learning piece of it, how I got into Rotary. So my good friend is now the president of the Cross Club, and when I retired in 21, I volunteered up there. Say, hey, why don't you come up and, you know, do some volunteer work for us? We need extra people. I'm sure she had a motive behind all that. And so basically about 2 years ago, I joined. Then I went to Pets. And she comes to me and said, well, because she knew I wanted to learn from other clubs, right? So she says, wow, there's an AG opening. I mean, I wasn't even there for 10 minutes. And she went over and talked to my class. I said, what do you think about, you know, someone's only been a club for about a year being an AG? Well, that's about 10 minutes. I ended up becoming an AG. So it was kind of a motivational thing for me because I get to learn from like the clubs here, right? I've been to the Deforest one, I've been to Lodi, and I've been to Wanakee clubs. And I'm telling you, you all have different cultures to you, which is outstanding. I learned from all those things and try to pass them along. Me being part of the Verona Club, we're very intimate. We're only about 20 people, but 10 that are really active, I will say. And we've kind of really made a change because we couldn't ever get anybody to volunteer for president, right? So what we did is we actually called it, and I introduced myself sometime as a relay president team for Pittsburgh Drone Rise, and people ask, what is that? Well, because a lot of these people have been in the club for 20, 30 years, right? So every 2 months, we switch our presidents. I'm telling you, it's changed the whole vision of what we do. And everybody brings a different vision to it, how they want to interact with people. Speakers, we have been having hardly speakers, you know, from 1 month to the next. We're already out into March for speakers, so everybody's bringing a different speaker to it. So it kind of reinvigorated the team. A lot of these people have 20, 30 years experience of a Rotary Club. I had 2, right? So it's helped me a lot just to learn from those people. The sharing piece, what I'm kind of doing right now, right? I've got all kinds of information I try to gather from other clubs, and people have information. I maybe can pass it along to people, which is really important, I believe. Because that gets into the learning piece of it, right? I'm telling you, I learned a ton in 2 years. People, you know, use Joe here because he's been here for 20, 30 years. All the people in my club, I'm serious, all been there 20, 30 years. I'm the one of the young ones at 65. So tells you a whole lot of this. We're trying to reinvigorate getting young people. The support piece is why I'm here. If I don't know the answer, which is probably the case in a lot of cases, I know how to get it. And I've learned a lot from the IT side of it, questions, especially for new presidents saying, hey, how do I get into some of these different, IT related things? Or how do I, get the membership things? I think you guys are really doing a good job from that perspective. So that's me just in general. The one thing how many people have read the dispatch? Read it routinely. It tells me what I bought. I'll tell you, they really, really have invigorated that. They really kind of pumped it up. So I encourage you to read it. Maybe it's a 10-minute read or 15-minute read. You're gonna learn a lot. That's one of the other things I've actually talked to people about. And I was actually in the Vibrant Work Club. I think we talked to the same person. She asked all these questions. Where do I learn stuff from? Where do I get information? Things like that. Didn't even know about dispatch. And she's the incoming president. So I encourage you to read it. I'm telling you, you're gonna learn a lot from that. I'm not trying to promote it. I'm just saying that's where I get a lot of information. Yes.
For a lot of the new people, what is the district?
So basically what it is, it's the district. I'll call it the newsletter if you want to call it. It's all online. So if you're not in that email, it comes out. I would encourage you to get it. I'm sure you can get it with you.
Yeah.
So again, it's
Richard, I look at it, that's their.
okay. It's very informational. Again, I've been with Vibrant World people. That's how I met Rules. Right, and how we got connected very well from that perspective. I encourage you, if you can, go to some of those workshops. And I'm not a big workshop guy. I've been to many my whole life. It seems I go to the same one and you learn the same thing over and over and over again. But I use it more for networking. Right, and I use it, not to say they're not good, but I'm telling you, you're going to learn a ton from people. I bet I could talk to all of you and learn something from every one of you. I look like you have a lot of experience behind you. Not saying you're old. I call it mature. My daughter would say you're halfway between 0 and 100, said you're experienced, right? That's what she tells me all the time.
We have some new people here. You use the word pets. You can tell people what that is.
Yeah, it's for president-elect. Like I get to go into it, but anybody's going to get president-elect for sure should be going into it. And I was in the club maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. They sent me this test, and really from that perspective, what you can learn about what it means to be a president-elect. I mean, I'm telling you, the experience of people that are down there, they have different workshops on how to build your club, how to be more vibrant club. I can tell you, and every time I go down there, I learn something different in my second year. So I encourage, I'm not sure if you guys do that or not, so I apologize. And if you want to go down there as a participant, it's a great way to meet individuals from all around the world, maybe for not coming to that thing. It's more for our region. But I'm telling you, people that are speakers that I've got a couple of them that went from the UK. Right, all they do things over there. It's interesting. You learn from different people from different cultures.
Yes. As far as using global grants, you have to send some of the pets, right?
Like for an AG, I'm supposed to go for those same reasons, but that's another good.
Yeah,
example.
your president-elect has to go to PETS in order for you to be eligible. It's one of the criteria for a grant. Yeah.
So, other things, I would encourage you to, if you can go to another local club, I'm telling you, try to do that. Again, that's, you got Deforest, you have Wanakee, even Lodi's so small, you have Verona, you have the South Madison Club. I encourage you to try to go through them because the information is very valuable. Again, network, right? I'm learning stuff already. I'm going to take back to our club in Verona. So, any questions in general? Yes.
How often are all the people of 6250 centralized in a meeting and talking together?
Well, there's like the Vibrant Work Club you could have gone to. There's the one that's going to be in Tricom, I think is in April sometime, right?
Yeah,
I think it's
it's
April.
Kalahari this year.
Kalahari. Pets, which is every year.
That's the beginning of.
March, the first week, full week in March. That's so. Right, and I would encourage you, I learned a lot just by going to that myself, and I was so inundated in what was going on, but if you have some experience, you're gonna walk in and know a little bit about what's going on. Yes.
For the new people over here, Tricon means what?
I'm not even sure the acronym means.
It's 3 clubs doing their district conference together.
See, I learned something today.
Yeah, 3 districts, sorry, not 2 clubs. 3 districts. So it's the Milwaukee district And then the one that goes up from Oshkosh down, that's another district. And then our district is 6250. So it's those three districts having a big conference.
Yeah, that's the whole one. 2 years, I don't know everything, so I gotta admit that, right? Anything else?
Met him at the Vibrant Work Club workshop, and I said, "Hey," he said, "I want to come visit your club." I said, "I got the day for you to come." So now we get to our club. So much to talk about. So I'm gonna just kind of touch on a few things. Please ask questions. I'm loving the more experienced members, are we saying, that add to it, because no, I'm not gonna say old, but, because I'm just trying to touch on everything, be respectful of everybody's time. So the club has our own board. So can we have board members stand up, please? All right. And go around, you're up.
All we have to do is stand.
No, and then tell your name and what you're doing on the board.
So I'm Jen Curley. I'm the co-president this year, and I did go to Country learn a great deal, and my 6th year in Rotary.
Michael, I fixed the computer once and I'm a board member.
Deb Krebs, I'm member at large, I guess, huh?
Advisory. Yeah.
I'm Jim Estrangelo, 15 years in the club, I'm the treasurer of the club, and so when you get billed for dues quarterly, I'm the guy that's behind the scenes.
Jim's fault.
So the money either goes, this is really important, the money either goes to Debbie or to Jim. If you're not sure, just hand it to one of them, they'll get it to the other person.
Rich Singer, I'm secretary. This is my 8th year as secretary.
Bill Fry, president of the line. I was at that last year. I go in this year and 7 years in Rotary.
I'm Diana Conkle. I've been a member, I think, for 25 years, and I'm a member at large.
And I'm Laura Jennings, and I'm the immediate past president. Been in Rotary in 2009, and I don't think people give themselves enough credit. Rich keeps us organized, Jim keeps us running, Jen keeps us going. Diana and Deb are really great at giving us ideas. And Michael, when I was president, I'm like, man, he knows a lot about IT. So thank you, Michael, for stepping up.
Definitely, he's great. And I'm on the board too as a membership chair. So, I'm gonna just kind of touch on some of the things we do. Hopefully I've got it all in there. Don't take offense if you have a pet project and it's not in there. But as new members, we are a service organization. I'm gonna tap into Susan because she's with the Sunshine Place, and I think that there is a lot more that we could do with you guys. I feel that's why I joined Rotary, was for service, and I think Jen is the same way. I'm sure many of us are. So we're gonna touch on a few of the projects that we've done, but also we would like more projects. I think that's what keeps us involved in the community. Gets our name, I hate to say gets our name out there, but I think a lot of people think of Rotary as service, and I think we want to keep that going. So service above self is a key phrase with Rotarians. What does that mean to you? What does it mean as a Rotarian and as Sun Prairie Rotary Club? What do we ask of you? You want to talk about service of self, Rich?
Sure.
Think about that, but now I'm putting you on the spot.
No, I think that's basically what Rotary is about. And when we say the 4-way test, it's how you live your life, how you make decisions, business, personal, those type of things. The other thing is the actual service above self program that we have, I think, magnifies that, the fact that we are looking for people in the community who are doing this thing and putting the service of others above themselves. And that's probably, to me, that's one of the most important things that we do, is recognize people who are not Rotarians to actually go ahead and encourage them and invite them into our club and that type of thing. So that's pretty much, to me, that's the guts of what gives our club about it.
we have at least 2 members that are past Service Above South winners. People nominate them and then we all vote on them, and then have become members. So Chad and Steve are both Service Above South winners. Oh, and Paul, sorry. All right. Oh, and sorry. I love that. I didn't think about you two. That's awesome. Yay. All right. All right. So history of our Rotary Club. We started in 1960. There was a lot of older members that, when I joined, they were still with us. A lot of them have passed. Diana, you want to jump in? I asked Diana to kind of give us a little overview on some of the fun things that they did when she joined.
Well, back in 1996, I had a personal goal. I had a bakery and a deli here in Sun Prairie, and I thought it would be a good idea to sell cream puffs at the Corn Festival. But in order to do that, I learned that you needed to come through a service group. So one morning I baked a whole bunch of cream puffs and brought them to Rotary, wanting to have that idea put across to them. Well, needless to say, they jumped on it. And for 10 years, we sold cream puffs at Corn Festival. They helped with my husband and Terry. They built a kitchen that we could vend out of. Ron always donated a refrigerator. And I think the best thing that happened out of that was the goodwill that was brought. A long-time Rotarian that you heard a lot talked about was Lou Blazer. He, every single time we were down there, would hawk the cream puffs. He took a quick trip mug, cut a hole out of the bottom, and lured everybody into our booth. So
Appropriately or not appropriately?
brought me to this club was a personal goal, which now 25 years later is the purpose that I'm here, because I learned so much more about why it's so important to serve the community.
Thank you, Diana. Appreciate that. All right. So here's some of the past or important projects we're involved in. Patrick Marsh, which Dan gave a little update. Deb and Dan have been giving us updates for 5 years since they've been working on that. So this summer we thought we were going to go a lot fast, get there a lot quicker, but I'm sorry, and Gina too. Sorry, that's what I said. You got to bear with me a little bit here. And I think that's a huge piece, and I think I'm gonna volunteer my husband to come help me do some fence because he knows how to do that, doesn't he? We've worked on the Mural Fest this summer downtown, the library expansion. We've done a number of things at the library. We've done, didn't put that up there, but we sponsored a room at the Boys and Girls Club. Feel free to jump in if you think.
Tree planting.
That's coming up here. Okay. We kind of put a little list of items that we do annually. Our holiday party in January, Kentucky Derby Party, which is a fun party, but it's also a fundraiser. Our Service Above South, an annual picnic, is in June. Golf Scramble we do end of July, early August. Pancake Breakfast with the Fire Department is in October. Meals on Wheels we do every Thursday. Sunshine Supper we held in March. Michael and I were talking yesterday. Oh no, Aaron stopped by and working on this and he said, I wish we could do that more often. I said, we can't. The schedule's full. So we serve ice cream at concerts at the park every summer. These are 2 internal ones that we do. The fantasy football. Everybody puts in $100 and the winner gets Paul Harris award. Hoops for Hope. Pastor Dave, I still call you Pastor Dave, was always too busy to help during our original pancake breakfast, so he invented Hoops for Hope. So we all do like a March Madness bracket, and the biggest winner is really the biggest loser, right? Who pays the most. That money goes to a charity of the winner's choice. So that's always a nice one. Tony brought this to us last year, and Debbie got involved as well, volunteering at working at the UW football games, and concerts. We help out at, we were doing trunk or treat for a while, and now we just provide the candy for the, neighborhood navigators. Let's see, anything else? Oh, is there anything else you guys can think of that we don't, that I missed?
We started at Creekside and volunteering at Creekside.
Yep. Yeah, we do have that option out there. We met with, Emily was here a couple weeks ago. We do have that option to go help on Thursdays, or actually any day after school for their Coyote Club. You just have, there's a sign up genius out there. You need it. There's type of Jen or I, and we can help you navigate that. It's really a fun program to do.
We've been, the Rotary Club is one of the biggest sponsors of the navigators financially. By having them come to our golf outing and working into some different things that we've done and been able to donate to them, whether it's hoops for hope or some of these other things that we do. So it's very significant to them that.
So Interact, that is our high school level club. Chad has helped with that. I'm getting pulled back in a little bit because I know the girls from going to Ryla, which I'll get to in a minute, but we're slowly getting that built back up. With 2 schools, it's a little harder, but there's some very motivated young people that want to be involved in Interact and help out with with projects that we're doing. We're slowly getting there, but then, then they graduate. Then it's like, oh gosh, now we start over again. High school scholarships. Debbie and I kind of work on that. We've pulled other people in to help. We have 3 scholarships, 4 scholarships that we give out. We've turned that over to the high school counselors to choose the students. They have I don't know what it's officially called, but the students do one application for a scholarship, and ours is part of that. So if anybody ever asks you about a Rotary scholarship, because I do get emails a lot from students or parents, if they're applying for the general Sun Prairie scholarships, ours is included in that. We kind of stepped away from choosing those students because we didn't know the kids as well. Ryla is Rotary Youth Leadership Academy. That's held right outside of the Dells. It's usually Mother's Day weekend or prom weekend. So it gets to be a little bit of a challenge to get students up there. Last year was the first year we did not have any students go up there because of AP testing as well. So we're gonna hope this year we can get more kids up there. It's really a cool camp. 2 of my kids went. It's a really fun leadership camp to go to, and you take them up. I take them up on Friday at noon, and the parents pick them up Sunday at noon. And they usually, nobody comes away disappointed that they went. And we usually try to get them to come in and speak as well. Arbor Day tree planting, that's kind of something we, as a club, nominate members that we're gonna plant a tree for. The list is up here. We do that in Orphan Park. We don't really get to plant the tree. We push some dirt out. The city people that know what they're doing and take care of it from there. Sunshine Supper again, we do once a year, and Meals on Wheels. So I guess we got that in there twice. Did that pull up there? I don't think it did. It was a cute little video. We can send it out by email, but it's a cute little piece on how to design your Rotary experience. I think what I would like mostly is, I think service is very important. If there's something you're passionate about, let us know so we can all work together and doing more to help our community grow. Here's some of the benefits of being Rotarian. Luckily, Michael got us a nice big screen so we can all read it now without having me read it off. But I think a lot of us come for service, but like Diana says, we also end up for fellowship, catching up with good friends and meeting new ones. And, you know, we always have been known for having really good speakers. Tom Hebel, who's a past member, always encouraged us to have really good speakers. And I think that makes our club strong. You're always going to learn something here. And I think that's all I have. Any questions? Anything I didn't cover? Come on, you guys. Oh, thank you. Come on.
I know when I joined Rotary, I was like, I don't know anybody. I'll just sit at my table and not do anything. But I wanted to participate. So it really is important if you are part of Rotary to volunteer for at least 1 or 2 events a year, because it takes many hands to do all this work. So we really appreciate that. And I think all of us, if you're somebody who's not sure, just ask. We love helping people become more involved in the club. And I think if you want to hook up, oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Glad you said it, not me.
I'm joking. But if you want to connect with a Rotarian who will like be a sponsor, then do that. Like, I'd be happy to. If you said, you know, can I sit with you at the table and explain to me what's going on? I think any of us would be happy to do that too.
I didn't wait. I just put the ball in your mind.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there you go. So that's something that we've been trying to do in the last year too. As new members come on, we are assigning a mentor program. I know Michael and Steve are connected. I didn't say hooked up. Connect you with.
You?
Me? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether you can.
Because, and Stephanie, I can help as well. What's that? Okay, yeah. And just, I mean, I really encourage, stop somebody if you're not sure. Sit by different people. That's really kind of fun to meet new people. We try not to sit at the same spots, but you know how that human nature does. Michael still has questions and he'll stop me and ask. So I think, oh gosh, we didn't cover that. He asked me probably a couple months ago about the raffle, or where do you get the raffle tickets and things like that. So we might have to go back to doing our greeting. A lot changed since COVID. We always had a greeter in the morning. We might need to go back to that. Maybe we can do the person who's doing the member moment and greet people. But I think that's it. Hopefully that's helpful. I really encourage you to read the dispatch. You're going to learn a lot about neighboring clubs. Go on to our club runner. That is where you can, send emails. You can go and create your profile for myrotary.org. You can do anything you want to search for. That'll take you to Rotary International. It'll take you to the district. Really good information out there.
I was gonna pass what I did do earlier. If you go to My Rotary, there's a ton of information on it. You can Google almost anything you want with information. I'm still reading it and I still haven't touched anything on Super Soda, so I prefer you to go on there and whatever you're thinking of.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep trying to keep this information going. Questions I'd like, we couldn't possibly fit everything that we wanted to share in this time. We're running a little over for today, but we'll keep going with some other things yet to finish our meeting for today. But I'm gonna try and add other pieces as well. For example, like, why do we ring the bell? And how does the 50/50 work? Where did happy dollars come from? And all the kinds of things that if you're a new member, you might be wondering about, or even if you've been here for a while, you know we do it, but the why. We're trying to bring more of those pieces into it. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of volunteering. None of this happens if we don't partake. There's good reason just to come on Tuesdays and hang out and have some coffee and hear a great speaker. But part of it is you join a service organization. So we encourage you to provide that service. And to that end, we are also going to welcome and initiate Stephanie. We mentioned that she's going to be here. No, it's okay. So Stephanie, you could come on up. We're going to take the initiation and welcome you officially to our club. So come on up. Have your pen, your 4-way test.
Thank you.
So fellow Rotarians, please help me induct Stephanie Walsh into the Rotary Club of. We ask you to join us because you're a worthy representative of your vocation and you believe in Rotary's ideals. In a moment, you will receive your Rotary pin, although I jumped the gun on that. This pin, when worn with pride, will help those whom you meet for the first time anticipate their dealings with you will be just and honest. It is through recognition such as this that Rotary has become an honored organization worldwide. Rotary is a service club in the finest sense. We work hard as we serve others, but we find time for fellowship, and we use first name when addressing members. We encourage a social atmosphere. Rotary is a non-racial, non-political, non-sectarian club with clubs throughout the world. And for this reason, political and religious issues are not discussed in Rotary clubs. Fellow Rotarians, please welcome Stephanie, the newest member of the Sun Prairie Thank you. All right, so a couple other things we have to do yet. We have Happy Dollars and the raffle drawing. And I will also mention that I'm going to continue to send information at the email either on Friday or Monday. I try to do it on Friday. Sometimes I get a little busy, but we'll try to send out on Friday some information about upcoming meetings, what's happening and what to expect. And with that, we'll do Happy Dollars. I've lost Dave.
As we have
I know,
time.
it's Speedy. If you can't stay, you can't stay. Understood.
Okay. For those of you who are new, I am technically the, what they call the Sergeant of Arms. I have no idea what that means, but that's the title.
Things to do.
It means I have this things to do. You saw how I start, now I get to finish. But Happy Dollars. Happy Dollars are things that you're going on in your life that you want to talk to us about. We'll try to make it short today, if you would talk fast. And so let's start here. All right, Ron.
Happy for all the many projects that we're doing.
Right, here. Okay, roll it. Nice job. Rose.
So you're gonna talk a little slower so I can think a little bit. Thank you guys for putting up with all that. Michael was a huge part of this because I'm not in the PowerPoint world anymore. I have a daughter for that, my business. So Michael helped me out a lot yesterday. And while we were meeting, Aaron came, so he's here hired, so he helped us put in a few more pieces. And I apologize to Jen because I was supposed to put her in there to talk more about volunteers, so I'm sorry. We were running out of time. Thank you all.
You get a free one. I'll take it.
I appreciate the
Guys,
opportunity.
stand up. That's what we're starting.
I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you and also bad your back, so I'll make sure to guess last night. All right.
Very good.
I got one for the.
You have one?
Yeah. And you know, like pickleball. And then the pickleball community is really unbelievable. This is our third year now that we're conferring trouble with the ball and doing Christmas gifts for kids. Last year we did 28 kids. This year the need is up to 41. And so we're just kicking off the drive, and as soon as I announced it to the pickleball community, we had people just calling and saying, how many can I take? Can I do this? Can I do that? So I'm hoping we'll have them all distributed out by the end of this week within 10 days. But it's hard to.
Listen, happy to be back here during, as some of you know that Ann and I went on a civil rights tour last week. So in the midst of the shutdown, that was a bit of a challenge. Some of the NPS sites were closed, but it was a very emotional trip, I would say. So be happy to share, one-on-one some of the amazing things we saw and were able to do. Just one item I will say that our local expert in Selma was a woman who marched on Bloody Sunday when she was 15 years old with her 13-year-old brother. So it was quite a trip.
Right. Ms. Dale, you can free one.
Well, thanks for allowing me to be here today. I think I mentioned earlier that I haven't physically left the house before the 7 o'clock. And my husband was on daycare duty today and it's very late, so.
Free one too.
I'll contribute. Thanks again for letting us come in and the opportunity to support our club through our cheese sale. I think that you enjoy cheese, if you get a diet. And importantly, this is the second year that we're getting cheese from a local
supplier, but we couldn't get it from someone out of town, and now we're working with the folks who have the cheese house, and we even recruited them to be a member of our club.
Anybody else at this table?
Oh, look at you giving us a, she's official.
Well, thank you so much for the acceptance. I appreciate it. And, Terry, you left, but, for inviting me to, and as a guest, I was involved with philanthropy in college and, you know, and then you just get busy in life in between those ages of kids and, you know, parents and that. So it's really, gonna be fun, to get involved in that and get to know everybody. Thank you.
Okay, anybody at this table?
I just want to thank Rose and team for putting this together. I thought it was really done really well. And, you know, even if you've been in the club for a while, you can always learn something. So, thank you for doing that.
I'm feeling generous. I'll give you a free one today.
Well, give me two, and I'm gonna go into, but, I'm excited at the Bears one, and my son, who is very traditionally gone with my husband, who is a Vikings fan, decided he wanted to be a Bears fan. Came home yesterday with his library book on the Chicago Bears, so take a look where you can get one.
Anyone else here? Okay.
This one is for everybody who does all the work they do in Rotary. I think I joined because I thought, oh, I'll meet people, and I worked outside of Sun Prairie at the time. And I stayed because of the people and the mission and all that. And you guys are just awesome. And this is for my husband while I go to. I think they're 25 and 0 now. It's fun. Without Wisconsin.
No. What team is that?
The team in red.
All right. This way. Get everybody over here.
We got Dan next time.
Dan.
Well, my happy dollar is the anticipation of the upcoming hunt for us at the farm. And it's just, everybody gets excited, and it isn't so much about the hunt, it's about the people together in the family.
And Madam President.
All right, we number two. I just want to thank everybody who helped with the participation today. There's so much more we could have shared, and we'll continue to share that information, but I hope that's a good start. Look through the emails for some information about things that are coming up as far as our meetings going forward and some volunteering opportunities. And then I had something else I don't remember, but in the interest of time, I'm going to scooch over here for the drawing. Take it, draw. Take it for us, please. Last couple of digits. Awesome. You can read it out loud. What you got?
It's blue.
Excellent.
0, 2, 2, 8, 8. One more.
Back I come around. Okay, so one of the things I didn't talk about, so while Dan draws, is this money is a 50-50 raffle. So if Dan draws the ace of spades, he's gonna get $259.
But he did not.
But he did not. But the other half of the money, so today we collected $39, part of it goes towards Folio Plus, part of it goes to the Sun Prairie Emergency Food Pantry, and the other part goes into the foundation. So whatever we collected today gets divided 3 ways into those pots, and then we give that money out. So for those of you who wanted to know where that money goes, that's where it goes.
Very awesome. So thank you, everybody. And I did remember the last thing I wanted to say with my happy dollar was that Rotary is a really cool organization. And the more you learn about it, the more I think, at least for myself, I become excited about being part of it. And I'm very happy to serve this year as president, and glad that you were all here. And thank you. And with that, you're done. Off you go.